Tonight we are fixing up a gumbo, but not just any gumbo. This is a low-carb gumbo, and it pretty much just takes one pot, so it's a one-pot dinner, and I really think you're just going to love this recipe. Hi, I'm Melissa Diane, and on this channel we have so much fun in the kitchen and in the garden and just all around our home. And so tonight we're going to start with going over all the ingredients that we're going to be using tonight in our gumbo. We're going to start in the back here with our shrimp. I'm using some medium-sized shrimp. The tails are already off of them. We've got some cauliflower rice. We've got some garlic that is sliced, and then about half a stick of butter, some celery, and some onions. You'll see that these are in freezer bags because I like to do this ahead of time, make up lots of these, and then I can pull them out from my recipes. We're having some fire roasted diced tomatoes, some extra virgin olive oil, some chicken broth. Back here I have got some crab or some crawfish broil. We're just going to use a little bit of that for seasoning. Some kosher salt, and then some sausage. You can use any kind of sausage, but I am using some link sausage that Jay got from one of his hunts, and this is just fantastic sausage. And then okra. Now for okra, if you're an okra fan, wonderful, but if you're not, give this a try because I'm going to show you something a little different that I'm going to do with this okra before I actually put it in the gumbo. And then back here, I forgot to show you, this is our little gumbo filet that we're going to be using. We like to use the brand Tony's. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my skillet, and we're just going to use this skillet for just one thing, and then everything else is just in that one pot. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. There we go. And then I'll let that heat up. And as soon as that's heated up, we're going to put our okra in there. And the reason we're doing this is because that way, once we've put this okra in there, and we're only going to cook it about 5 or 6 minutes, but it will take all of the sliminess away from that okra. So if you have not put if that's the reason that you haven't ever put okra in your gumbo, this will take care of that for you. Looks like we are ready, and I'm just going to dump this in here. And turn it down. I'm not trying to fry it. There we go. Turn it on down. We're just going to get all of that moisture that's with that okra. We're going to get it off of there. And you can put more okra in than what I'm doing. This is what I picked from our garden today, so that's what we're using. This has been going about 2 minutes. We'll let it go just a couple more. Now, this has been about 5 minutes now, so I think we are done, and I'm just going to turn this off. And once you've done this, just take your skillet, and we're going to set this aside for later. Now we have our gumbo pot, and we're going to go ahead, and first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put our butter in the bottom. There we go. And now we're just going to turn on our burner. There we go. And we're going to melt this butter. As soon as this butter is melted, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in our onions and our celery. Now remember, my onions were actually vacuum sealed and froze, so they may have a little bit more water to them than what you will have. Now I'm going to take my celery and put my celery in there. And mine are still a little bit frozen, and those are going to break up here in just a minute. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good, y'all. Oh, with all that butter in there. Oh, it's just going to taste so good. Our onions and our celery are just sauteing up so good. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our sliced sausage. And we're going to cook this just until that sausage gets browned. So we're going to sit here and saute on this until we can get this sausage brown just a little bit. It's coming along really good. Oh my gosh, and it's so pretty. Look at all those colors. When I'm cooking, I don't know about you, but I like it to be pretty. I like to enjoy what I'm cooking. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic. And I put quite a bit of garlic in here. We love to cook with lots of garlic. Oh my goodness, this is starting to smell so good. Now, after I've had that garlic in there for about 3 or 4 minutes, now I'm going to go ahead and put in the tomatoes. And you don't drain these. You put the whole can in of these diced tomatoes, juice and all. So let's put those in, stir them around. And I like to use those fire roasted diced tomatoes. These have a really special flavor about them, I think. Just a little something different. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Woo. And now we're going to put in our chicken broth. And we're going to be using about 4 cups, and I believe that's one whole, yes, it's one whole little box of this. This is chicken broth. Let's get this all in there. And then what we're going to do is once this is in there, we're going to stir it up real good, and then we're going to bring this to a boil. And then once I get this up to a boil, then we're going to turn it down and we're going to let it simmer for about 30 minutes before we put the rest of all of our ingredients in. Oops, I forgot something. We need to go ahead and get our okra, and let's put our okra in there while this is coming to a boil. So we're going to take this okra and we're going to put this okra in. There we go. I saw that okra sitting back there. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot the okra. All right, so let's stir it up. It's looking great. And now we're going to let this come to a boil. I'll be back in a few minutes. We have now come to a boil, and I'm going to turn this down and we're just going to simmer it. I'm going to switch this over to simmer. There we go. Make sure it's still on. Yep, it is. Okay. So, oh, look how pretty that is. Goodness. So now we're just going to simmer. So it's on a low simmer. And what we're going to do though is we're going to cover it. So let me get my lid real quick. And while I'm doing that, if you're learning something and you're enjoying this, please pop that like button. That lets me know what recipes you like. And if you'd like to join our YouTube family, if you click subscribe, we would sure love to have you. And let me see right here. We got it on simmer. Okay. And I want to put the lid on, and we're just going to let this little guy simmer on low. We're going to do that for about 30 minutes. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. We've been simmering now for 30 minutes, so it is time to put in our shrimp. And here we go. Put our shrimp in. Once this shrimp goes in, you're going to stir it up. Oh my gosh, oh, the smells are wonderful. Once this shrimp goes in, we're going to let it simmer for 5 more minutes. Now it's time to go ahead and add in our cauliflower rice. If you want to, you can make up your cauliflower rice separately and then pour your gumbo over that. But tonight I'm going ahead and I'm just mixing everything up all together. I just want everything to just be in one pot. We're going to simmer this until that rice, that cauliflower rice gets kind of soft. Okay, so what we're going to do now is it's been about 5 minutes, more minutes, so we're going to go ahead and turn the heat off and get it turned off. And then we're going to take our gumbo filet right here, and we are going to put that in, and we're going to put in there 2 teaspoons of this. And then we're going to mix it up and let it sit. And what this is going to do is it's going to help thicken up this gumbo. And then after we do that, if we need it to, if it's too thick, we can always put a little more chicken broth in there. Okay, let's put our second one in. Here we go. Now we're going to mix this all up. We've turned the heat off. And we're gonna let this sit for just a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Y'all, here we go. I just took a bite and this tastes so good. Look at it. It smells wonderful. It's just beautiful. Be sure and check out that next video that's popping up, and I'll see you over there in a few minutes. Bye-bye.